want to take this video of the rear mirror shaking. I hope it picks it up in the phone, but it shakes pretty bad, right about 70 mile an hour. And I just had new weights put on the tires that are balanced when I put new tires on it here about a week ago. And what I've noticed is right about when you hit 68 up to 72, it vibrates pretty bad and it kind of goes away. And this is a sign of a unbalanced tire. Now the problem with this car is it has like a wire wheel look-alike type wheel with the with the locks and all of that stuff that was pretty popular on fancy cars in 1987. But the weights don't stay on; they flip off. And I've thought this before with previous tires. So what we're going to do is we're going to put DynaBeads in them, and we'll see if that takes care of the problem. So I went ahead and ordered some DynaBeads to take care of the problem with the car. Actually ordered a lot of DynaBeads because I'm going to be taking care of other vehicles as well. I have an RV that I'm also going to be putting them in. Basically I order from DynaBeads because I've had good luck with the company in the past. They also are a company that makes a bead that is small enough to feed through the valve stem. So you don't have to take the tire apart or break it off the rim, put the beads in, and put it back together. So it's kind of handy if you're a guy like me and you don't have the tools to take the tire off the rim. You're going to need a couple of tools. I recommend getting a good valve core remover. Actually, DynaBeads sells one for a few bucks. It's well worth the money. And you're going to need filtered valve stems. And the reason you need filtered valve stems with the DynaBeads is the beads are small enough that if you use your regular cores, there's a possibility that you could get them stuck inside and they won't seal right and they get damaged. The filtered ones have a little screen on the bottom of them so that the beads can't go back up through the valve stem core and get stuck in there. And then they sell an applicator bottle. I highly recommend this. It's basically just a bottle with a tube in it, and the tube is just big enough to fit over the valve stem. So you basically put your beads in this bottle and you pour them in, and it makes it a little easier to put in the tire. We're going to do that here shortly. Now I like to take the valve stem and put it at about the 4 o'clock position. That way it's not sitting on the bottom of the rim, and it gives it a little room for the beads to fall in. You definitely don't want it up at the top. It would be hard to put the beads in. So we stick it at this position. We pull the valve stem out, let all the air out. I just did that. And then you literally just connect the tube to the valve stem and you dump the beads in. Not a big deal. Pretty simple and easy to do. Sometimes you can get the beads stuck in a tube if you try to fill them too fast. And a lot of people have different techniques on this. But what I like to do is just take the end of a screwdriver and just kind of tap it and vibrate the beads down. And they'll go a lot quicker if you do that. Sometimes it takes a while, but you just got to be kind of careful and baby them in there. But just a little bit of a tap like that, and they'll start flowing through the valve stem. And it takes about 5 or 10 minutes per tire, and you do need a little bit of patience. The core on the bottom, the short one, is the core that came out of my valve stem. The one on the top is what's called a filtered valve stem, and you can also buy those from DynaBeads. They're like $3 a piece. But if you look on the end of them, they kind of have this long neck that goes down to the stem, but there's not a clear hole. It's got a screen on it. That's what keeps the little tiny DynaBeads from coming back up through the valve stem. And you just put them in like normal, and they just tuck down in there. And then you just take your regular tool and tighten it up, put air in your tire, and this tire's done. So it's the morning after we put the weights in, and I'm on my way to work. And if you look, we're doing 69 mile an hour, and the mirror is smooth. There is no shake in this car. This car is driving very smooth. It's actually smooth all the way up to 75. I had it up to 75 earlier. The DynaBeads took care of the shake, and the wheels are now balanced.